every Sunday morning on 100.9 Canoe FM or canoefm.com if you're streaming by internet, and it's heard every Sunday on Canoe at 10 a.m. But every week I'm going to do a live video and share with you one of my word nuggets every week. So I've done a couple now, and so this is the third one I'm doing. And this one is titled Bought to be Freed. Back in the 1800s, a young Englishman traveled to California in search of gold. After several months of prospecting, he struck it rich. On his way home, he stopped in New Orleans, and while visiting there, he came upon a crowd of people all looking the same direction. He realized that they had gathered for a slave auction. Slavery had been outlawed in England for several years, so the Englishman was curious to watch as a person became someone else's property. Just as he joined the crowd, he heard the auctioneer yell out, "Sold!" and a middle-aged black man was taken away. Next, a beautiful young black girl was pushed up onto the platform and made to walk around so everyone could see her. The young English miner heard vile jokes and comments which spoke of evil intentions. Men were laughing as their eyes remained fixed on this new item for sale. The bidding began, and within a minute the bid surpassed what most owners would pay for any slave. As the bidding continued higher and higher, it came down to two men wanting her. In between their bids, they laughed out what they were going to do with her and how the other would miss out. The miner stood silent as anger welled up inside him. Finally, one man bid what was far beyond reach of the other. The young girl looked down at the auctioneer, hollered out, "Going once, going twice," and just before the final call, the English miner yelled out a bid twice the amount of the previous bid. It was an amount which exceeded the worth of any human being. The crowd laughed, thinking it was only a joke. The auctioneer motioned for the Englishman to come up and show his money. The Englishman opened up his bag of gold he had with him. The auctioneer shook his head in disbelief and yelled out, "Sold!" as he handed the young black girl over to him. The girl walked down the step, turned and looked at the English miner in the eye, spit in his face, and he said, "I hate you." The miner wiped his face off and paid the auctioneer, took the young girl by the hand, and walked away from the laughing crowd. He led her down a street to a store where the miner went inside while the young lady waited outside. Peering in, she saw the miner open his bag and pour out his gold he had left. The clerk in disgust picked up the gold, went in the back room, and came back out with a piece of paper to which the clerk and the miner both signed. Coming outside to the young black girl, he stretched forth his hand with a piece of paper in it and said to her, "Here are your manumission papers. You're free now." The girl never looked up. Again, the miner told her, "You're a free person now." The young black girl looked at the papers, then looked up at the miner. "You bought me, and now you're setting me free?" "Yes, that's why I bought you," the miner replied. The young girl fell to her knees and with tears in her face looked up at the young Englishman and said, "You bought me to free me. All I want to do now is serve you." Likewise, all of you listening today, you have been bought to be freed with something more valuable than gold. 1 Peter 1, verses 18 and 19 says this, "For you know God paid a ransom to save us, and the life he paid was not mere gold or silver, but the precious blood of Christ, the sinless, spotless Lamb of God." All of us at one time in our life were subject and slaves to sin. And God paid the price in full for us to be free from sin, so that we could live free. Jesus said in John chapter 8, verse 32, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Which means we can live free of sickness, free of poverty, free of fear, worry, anxiety, and depression. God does not want us to be a slave to anything. So let us never forget that on Calvary's cross, God purchased our manumission. In other words, He purchased our freedom. It was not by gold, but through something more powerful, the precious blood of His Son, Jesus. He laid down more than gold on the table for us. He laid down His life for us. 2 Corinthians 8 and 9 says, though He was rich, for your sakes He became poor, so that you, through His poverty, might become rich. So remember, He bought you to free you. Now, it's up to you. Who are you going to serve? Well, that's my word nugget for this week. I trust I've encouraged you, put hope in your heart, and given you something to think and meditate on throughout the week. So until then, until next week, you see me live, or you can tune in Sunday morning, 100.9 FM, Canoe FM, here locally, or canoefm.com if you're streaming, Sunday morning Eastern Standard Time at 10 o'clock on Sundays. Till then, God bless you. Bye for now.